Japan anime news powered by Newtype. This means that people are listening to this in English and other languages besides Japanese. It's a great project. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone in the world. It's me here, and I'm here now. A podcast that brings anime news from Japan directly to the world in real time. Yes, I'm here. This is the first time I'm starting this podcast, and you may be wondering, who the hell are you? I am an announcer at Nippon Broadcasting System, a radio station in Tokyo. I have been working as an announcer for about 25 years, but even before I became an announcer, I was already an otaku. I watched anime for a long time and then became an announcer, so my feelings were already formed as an otaku. So when I became an announcer, I had to host various events. When I was asked to be an MC, it was almost the first time in my generation that someone from my generation was an MC for an anime event who really watched anime. For quite a long time, I was told within the company that I had no idea what on earth he was thinking. But in the animation industry, people would say, "I see. I'm glad we have an announcer who understands that kind of anime talk." I was told that I was lucky to have an announcer who understood such things about anime. If there was a pale man hosting the event, that would be me. That's the kind of person I am. So I'm the kind of person who thinks about animation all year round. This year, I will be hosting events in Abu Dhabi, Singapore, and Seoul in Japanese. Perhaps some of you will be able to meet me in person? I wonder what the last half of this year, the fourth quarter, would look like if this were translated into English. I think there's a pretty good chance we'll be able to meet in the fourth quarter. Just in case. In anime terms, it's the October quarter, and I think there is a very good chance that we will be able to meet in the world this October quarter. First of all, when it comes to anime information, it may be true that you are a person in the anime industry, so what you have seen and heard is real. But it is impossible for you to cover everything by yourself. In Japan, there is an anime magazine called Newtype, published by KADOKAWA, which was first published in 1985. I have been buying Newtype every month since I was in the second grade of junior high school, so I have been buying it for more than 35 years. So the editorial department of a long-established magazine that has been around for more than 35 years is able to gather accurate information on anime. This correct collection of anime information can only be found in a Japanese anime magazine. This program is to deliver this information week after week in a short span of time. You said you are going to deliver this to the world. How we are doing this is actually through a multilingual voice translation tool called Lingueene, is a proper noun. This Lingueene was developed by Nippon Broadcasting System, Inc. I don't really know how they did it. When I speak in Japanese, my voice tone remains the same as mine, but I can speak in other languages. At this stage, 28, this number is increasing by the minute, isn't it? I thought that maybe there are people who are listening to what I'm saying in other languages. There is already quite a culture of anime radio in Japan. It has been around for about 30 years, and for some reason, sharing anime stories on the radio has always been a lot of fun, but no one has ever done it for the world. Maybe we can do a podcast. So by all means, anime fans of the world, contact this studio. Yes, we have an email address. janime@1242.com is a Nippon Broadcasting System radio station, so the frequency is 1242 AM, so here it is. janime@1242.com. Please send us an email if you like. For social networking, I have an account at janime_news on X, #janime. We'll go and look at it, and if you want, we'll feature it in the show. We would love to have you join us. So this program was recorded on September 30th, 2024. And as I just explained, it was translated using the multilingual voice translation tool. Lingueene is used for translation. For languages other than Japanese, the translation is done by AI and may contain inaccurate expressions. Therefore, we have no intention to hurt anyone or to harm or humiliate anyone. If it does, it is AI's fault. We are sorry. We hope that you will agree with us and enjoy this program. So please subscribe to this program by RSS or something. Thank you for your cooperation. Let's introduce the latest animation news for the first time. First of all, let's start with this. Jujutsu Kaisen has completed its serialization. The comic series has sold more than 100 million copies in total, and what surprised me today is that Japan has a broadcasting station called NHK, which is a public broadcasting station. The NHK is a public broadcasting station that is required by law to make all of its programs available to all of Japan, including radio and television. I was listening to the radio and was surprised to hear that the Jujutsu Kaisen had been completed. I thought they were going to do it. I wondered why they were only going to do the Jujutsu Kaisen. But in the news commentary, they said, "This year marks the 10-year anniversary of the serialization of My Hero Academia." Is that possible? Well, I thought that it had become a national news even to that extent. So, let me ask you how the final episode went. It was shot at midnight today. It was the 30th of September, which means that Shonen Jump is on sale on the morning of the 30th of September. I've been working all day and haven't read it yet, so if I touch on it during the show, let's talk about it when I'm done reading it. The manga has something to do with it, but the anime has spread it around the world, so let's talk about it. First of all, let's talk about this story. Super real time. And then that time I got reincarnated as a slime. This was announced this past weekend, and we have decided to produce the second movie version and the 4th season of the TV anime. This is not until the end, or rather, there is no end yet. But it is not the end, and I could see that they will continue to make it. In this case, it was a music video. The promotional video, not the music video, was shown on YouTube, but animation is good for voiceover work. There was a video that was used as it was in the 3rd season, and it was used as the announcement video for this one. And then there was this one, My Hero Academia, all for one of My Hero Academia. How should I explain it? For those of you who haven't read the book, there are characters or abilities or such beings. This all for one was done this way by Akio Otsuka. Akio Otsuka was doing it like this, but there was a period of youth and he became a little younger. The voice when he became young was changed to Hiroshi Kamiya. Yes, that's right. I wondered if such a thing was possible. It's like he changed from Snake to Captain Levi. I wondered how this would be conveyed to the world. In any case, he seems to be a strong fighter. In the news, Hiroshi Kamiya officially said, "It's okay to use Akio Otsuka's voice as it is." When I said, "Why don't you just use Akio Otsuka's voice even if you are an elementary school student?" I realized that Akio Otsuka has had that voice since he was in kindergarten, not just elementary school. Hiroshi Kamiya said something like, "I'm doing this thinking that if that's the case, then that's the way it should be." Incidentally, I have spoken directly with Mr. Kamiya many times, so I hope to be able to provide such on-site information in the future. Let's end today with a piece of news. There is a director named Kenji Kamiyama. And guess what? There is a blockbuster movie called Lord of the Rings, a live-action blockbuster, right? The Lord of the Rings has been subtitled The War of the Rohirrim, and is now being made into an anime. It's a story set 200 years ago, apparently. The story of 200 years ago has been made into a movie, and the movie will be released on December 27th as an animation. I thought, so? I thought it was news. First of all, what do you think of director Kenji Kamiyama? Does he have a strong image of standalone complex? Ghost in the Shell? There are many other works, such as the standalone complex series, Guardian of the Spirits, and Eden of the East. There are plenty of others, it's true already. I see that this film has a very celluloid look, but since director Kenji Kamiyama is making this film at Studio Solar Entertainment, it will probably be CG, right? But the CG, director Kamiyama has been making CG, Ultraman, and so on for a long time, recently. The same is true for the most recent series of Standalone Complex. I'm sure that it will be CG. I have had the opportunity to talk with director Kamiyama many times, such as when he worked on Eden of the East, and he is a very, intelligent director, isn't he? I guess so. You can see it in his works. He is a very intelligent director. And what I thought was really interesting about what he said was that the closest art form to film is music. What he meant was that there are many different styles of art, but the two that are defined by time are film and music. I thought, oh, that's cool. But if you think about it that way, well-made music has an intriguing introduction. And then, in Japanese parlance, it has an A melody, a B melody, and a chorus, and each of these stages gradually approaches a climax. It is the same in anime. Like the beginning of a chorus or the beginning of a chorus in music these days, it suddenly starts with a climax, but even so, there is always an A melody and a B melody. There is no such thing as a movie that only has a climax. I have heard that you said something like, it's not just a climax, and I was deeply convinced by that. I have to say, director Kamiyama, serious films are more powerful when they are made in a serious way. Serious things are more powerful. That's why Lord of the Rings is different from Tensura, isn't it? I felt that, I would like to see this one. Yes. So, this time, There are not so many people who knew all the anime news, are there? It's hard to keep up with all the anime news in detail, isn't it? I'm going to start posting this kind of information on the podcast from now on, so please bear with me. Yes, well, Japan Anime News powered by Newtype, it's almost time for the ending. Also, it's October, so the anime has started to begin with at this point in time. At any rate, up to this point, I haven't done that much since it was on the 30th of September. Of the ones that haven't done that much, the one that you can see first, and the one that made me giggle the most, is Murai no Koi. It's so stupid that it's laughable, really. I mean, it's really laughable, and I love Yoko Hikasa's performance. It's not that it's great, it's just silly. Also, the story goes on and on and on and on, going into the very fine details of the otaku side of things. I wondered if I could understand this. People from all over the world are coming to the show in a very positive way. I think they will be surprised at how positive they are. I personally wonder if they will understand the only event so much. And I also want to leave an achievement that I said this before it started. The chi is great. Chi. It's really great. What's so great about it is that it's based on a manga called Chi, which is complete in 8 volumes, and I actually went back and read it again after the 8th volume. I was surprised. I had read the manga in serial form and was wondering how it was going to turn out. But now, on the second go-around, I'm aghast. The reason for this is that the manga has already decided what to write at the very end. So from the very first episode, this character's line, this prop, etc., are all beautifully done. Foreshadowing. People who have read the manga will be surprised when they see the anime, and people who see the anime for the first time will probably have the same experience as I had with the manga the first time around, and then watch it over and over again. You know, Chi is amazing, really. I really have a lot to say about that. Also, Kensuke Ushio is in charge of music. Kensuke Ushio is a geek, and he's also the DJ behind Denki Groove. You may not know him. When we were DJing together at anime song events, he would go out with Mito of Clambon as a DJ unit under the name 2 Anime DJs. As if such a name is even possible anymore, as a musician, he is a genius. Recently, he did the music for Kimi no Iro and a movie directed by Naoko Yamada. He also did the music for Masaki Yuasa's film, and now Ushio is doing the music for this film. I was looking forward to seeing how it would turn out. That reminded me of something. I heard that they are going to make a movie called The Dangers in My Heart as well. I heard that they are going to make a movie of it this week. This one will be a compilation of the TV series plus new footage to depict the future story of Ichikawa and Yamada. And the music for that one will be by Kensuke Ushio. Really, you know, I mean, what's the point? I mean, I'm an otaku, so I understand him very well after all. So, this is the kind of thing I would like to keep doing in this podcast. So it's really a podcast, but I'm going to film it every week, so I'd really like to hear from you if you can. The hashtag would be JAnime, and if you want to email me, it's janime@1242.com. And the X account is, JAnime_news. It's here, so we'd love to hear from you. Oh yeah, I know Dandadan starts in October this season. Kensuke Ushio, I remember. No, also Dandadan. Is there no end to it? The highlight of Dandadan is that Science Saru is making it this time. So if you've seen any anime in the new season and you don't have anyone around to share it with, send it to me here. If you don't have anyone around to share what you've seen in the new season, send it to us here. This will be a regular feature. We look forward to a long relationship with you. This is Japan Anime News powered by Newtype.